What's up guys, it's Gemini and I converted my EK Witch into a Freeze Pulse Witch. That was done through some simple changes. We added Freeze from the Shadow, we added Frostwalker from the Witch, unspec'd out of that 1 life node and got the spell damage node, and we picked up Elementalist. We're running Haste, Herald of Ice, and Herald of Thunder. Notice Arctic Armor was dropped because these two heralds synergize with Freeze Pulse just way too much. Our links are Cold Penetration, Freeze Pulse, Hypothermia, Spell Echo, Greater Multiple Projectiles at level 16, and Increased Critical Strike damage. I'm using Vol Clarity with Increased Duration, Haste, and Slower Projectiles. Slower Projectiles more or less just like a nice little nifty swap that I can do for bosses for better single target and better freeze action. We're still running the Cast and Damage Taken, GMP, Chain, Arctic Breath, because that sets up nicely defensively and for Hypothermia. So I'm going to show you some footage of a Fracture map. It's a level 81 shrine. I did this with Odie the other night, and you guys can watch how powerful and volatile this is. I did end up testing a couple of skills, mainly Arctic Breath, and I found Freeze Pulse to be advantageous in many ways. Freeze Pulse is a lot cheaper cost compared to the cold skills, and it has a very good spread. I realize that shotgunning is not in the beta at the moment, or it's disabled, but the instant gratification you get and the spread makes it worth it. Once you get to your damage to a certain position, I feel like it's definitely worth it. It more or less becomes an increased AoE. I'll go ahead and show you some non-Xerfes Youth action because many people will argue, well, you can't really see it build until you remove those combos. It is important to note that if I were to remove Xerfes, I would still use Vol Stormcall as opposed to Vol Clarity. It's definitely manageable in mana. This is a Reflect pack coming up, and it doesn't seem to struggle that hard on reflection. And I know if I had a Life Leech gem, or maybe even in its series Cold Belt, it'd be a lot better. And you can see how it handles Piety with slower projectiles instead as a substitute. Now I had Odie handle the ads, and we pretty much had a game plan that he was going to keep the ads off me and I was going to handle the boss. I ran out of mana here, but you'll see me pop Vol Clarity, and she's pretty much locked down. She's at a point where she's somewhat casting but not really, and I'm able to successfully freeze her. She's not even cursed right there, and she's barely doing anything. It's very, very impressive considering I have none of the chill and freeze nodes on the tree. Let me go ahead and show you another fight with Megara. And you'll notice it's very, 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 very volatile. And she's frozen. Let's go ahead and show you some of the gameplay in a maze map, without another person in there. This one is additional rogue exiles, magic monsters, vulnerability, extra lightning, and frenzy charge. I am not using Xerfes Youth. Oh, I am. So this gem gives me cold damage, cold multi, prod speed, and reduced mana. It's okay. I mean, I would prefer a better gem, but this will work. So you can see the damage is really, really good. This is the Witch Exile, and it's pretty scary because of her minions doing minion instability. Overall, I'm very, very happy with Freeze Pulse. It has its downsides, but I think the upsides are more than worth it, and my chance to freeze is just amazing. We did a Gorge clear speed run, and it was roughly a little under 3.5 minutes. 3:15 I think was the best time. So it's a very respectable Gorge clear speed, especially, I'm not 100% min-maxed. And we have another Exile. and he just gets frozen. I'm curious to know what you guys think about the build. Again, this is a vulnerability 81 map. It really is nice when you can use one character to do multiple things with, you know, some gems, a few chromes, and a few respec points, and it feels like you have a completely new character. And that versatility is you know, brought through the tree because you scale damage with crit damage and crit multiplier. Alright, here's the boss. We're gonna go ahead and swap to slower proj. Handling the ads is a little pain in the ass because I swapped out a GMP. I almost keep Vol frozen. Not really. And I'll let my charges fall. That was a user error. Pretty easy. You can handle equilibrium maps. We did a lot of courtyards and palaces the other day. If you want to check out that footage, feel free to check out my YouTube. But that should give you a glimpse of the power of Freeze Pulse in the current state of the beta. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys later.